Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? Everybody ready for the eclipse for tomorrow? Oh, yes. Oh, let's see who we got. I Love Ulta was first again. You're really good about being first in there. Ah, Indica, Tat Jack, Dree, Charlie Girl. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I can get some coffee. All right, hopefully. Where's Jenna? Where you at? I don't even see her in chat. I know she's around. She was here all day and went home tonight. She had to go back to her hotel and went home. I always call the hotel home though because I travel so much. So after I go going home, going to the hotel. But hopefully everybody's doing good tonight. And she said, "Hey, Indica, know what else uses the number 2? First place loser. You know what you're talking about, Charlie Girl? Second place is first place loser. That's what my old DM used to say to me. Hey, Rocco, you ready for that eclipse? You got your sunglasses ready? I'm telling you, I think I'm just going to chance it and look at it and see. Because, we had an eclipse when I was growing up one time, and I looked up at it, and my eyes, they're not that bad, I just need glasses, but I've always needed those, so. Well, now that I think about it, maybe I did damage them. I don't know. You're working. Yeah, you're still going to enjoy it. Are you in the total eclipse part, or are you going to? I'm waiting to see how dark it actually gets. It'll be interesting how it's going to be. It's supposed to be total here, so it should be like nighttime. Oh, Jenna, there you are.
Hello.
Hello.
What does your avatar say?
It says super bitch.
Super bitch.
Yeah,
hey,
because
Charlie, where you at?
I figure we always called that, so might as well be one, We'll be super at it, though. I'm going to be a bitch, I might as well be a super bitch.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Superstar.
Super. I'm a superstar. Yeah, man. Well, I tell you, it's been long. Huh?
What was you saying?
Yeah. I said, huh? Well, I was at, never mind. I was asking what you said. That's all.
Oh, you said today. It's been a what? You said it's been a long day.
Oh, it has been, man. Woo-wee.
It wasn't. It went by too quick for me.
Yeah, well, after you left, it was long because we had a, grandbaby still, and my son took granddaughter home, and then we still had the grandson. My husband finally took him home. Hey, Shorty, what's up? Shorty. I always every time somebody says Shorty, I always think of that song. Shorty, what it is, Shorty, what it is. I always play that in my head. And sometimes I actually sing it, especially if I'm on a panel. I don't know why that song always pops in my head. Oh, but I do have an article of clothing from Jenna's that she left here. And I'm going to auction it off. I'm going to auction it off to the highest bidder because I'm sure somebody's going to want to pay for that. You left a shirt here. No. So long sleeve, not too heavy though. So you can layer it. You can wear it without layers, whatever. It would work.
It
got get top dollar for that. It did get hot. I told you. Now it's getting cool out.
I know.
Told you. It's bipolar stuff going on over here.
Right.
For sure.
Where's the heifer at? Kim? Yeah.
Drew got $3. Hell yeah. Oh, Indica, you got beat already. Indica come in 2 cents. There's a reserve on it. So you gotta get to they do the auctions and then they say there's a reserve. It's like, well, why don't you tell us what that reserve is before we start bidding?
Believe me, it's not that important. This is a plain long sleeve shirt.
Well, I'm just saying it was left here. Somebody for sure would want to bid on a shirt, you know?
Just make sure you like wash the hair off and stuff before it goes to anybody, because people can be doing stuff with your hair.
They may want to pay top dollar for that.
No.
And they'll get it back and they'll be like, she's part shepherd? What?
Right. Yeah, they get a lot of dog love today, so
Mm-hmm.
I got
Hey, Trouble.
Trick. Hey, everybody. And I got
Crystal.
dog loves. Hey, Crystal, Trouble. Hey, everybody.
You got dog loves. Told you, man.
Yeah.
I told you my kids are hoot and have, didn't I? They are.
I enjoy spending time with them.
Mm-hmm.
They got me in trouble, y'all.
No, they get you in trouble. Nah. But look, granddaughter might be getting us all in trouble if she goes home and tells her mama how many little hugs she had and how much candy and cookies she ate. And I don't know. I mean, my grandson, he wanted some Oreos. And, he ate all his dinner, ate some of mine. So I couldn't tell him no. And I asked him what he had all over his face because he only had 4, which is a lot. Usually he has 2, but he had 4. He came back for 2 more. I'm not going to deny him, So then I asked my husband, I said, oh my gosh, what does he have all over his face? My husband goes, I don't know. He's like, come here, what do you have on your face? And he said, did you give him something? I said, no, I thought you did. He's like, no, I've been outside. And so he's like, well, you got to wipe his face before I take him home. So I go in there to go wipe his face. My husband comes in and he goes, well, I found that the culprit was. And he's like, what's that? And he shows me an Oreo. Half-eaten Oreo. I was like, oh, he got some Oreos, and my husband just smiled at me. He knows I gave it to him. Hey, Chris.
Aww. Hey, everybody.
Uh-oh. Anyone looking to go on this study, look at the eclipse? Oh, shit. What? Tara said, anyone looking to go on disability, look at the eclipse. You're welcome and good night. So Chris said, Tara, you gave Heidi an idea. Oh, no. Yep. You gave yep an idea.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully she's not going to do that, Don't try and, use the eclipse as an issue, as, a disability. I mean, somebody they might actually try to do that,
Yeah. Where's Charlie girl at? She needs to come up here with you in case I fall asleep on you.
Well, you'll fall asleep, and this time I'm just going to let the live run. I'm not muting.
Yeah, I snoring last time, so.
You just keep that camera off. You'll be good. You'll be like, what is going on over here? It's just sleeping ASMR,
Yeah.
Oh, listen to the sounds.
Charlie girl's doing a sleep study test on me, so.
I know. Just gonna sleep study you. Sleep study you. Yeah, I know Fancy's at work now. She's on her way. So she's at work, getting ready to do that brutal night shift there this week. And apparently I'm off this week too, so yeah, people have already started camping in the parking lot. Crystal. Oh shoot. Yeah. Apparently that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna check the hotel rates around here and see the ones that were, closest to me. Because I know the ones a couple couple towns over, about an hour up. They're 1,300 plus. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, we'll be doing a live study tonight. Look, look. We're gonna record it, play it through some app, tell us whether you have sleep apnea or not. Probably what it's going to come down to. Yeah, she did go outside. Yeah, get out of bed, go on outside.
Hey.
Hopefully they keep the
What?
grandbabies inside. Huh? Do what?
What? What?
What? I said I hope they keep the grandbabies inside. I don't want them getting blinded by the eclipse.
I'm sure they will.
But apparently, the least of our worries is blindness. Really. I guess if we were to damage our eyes, we wouldn't see all the crap. I guess we're going to be food shortages and I mean all this stuff that's supposed to happen.
Well, hopefully that don't happen.
No, I don't think it will. If it does, it does. I guess I don't know. People are going to be wishing they had looked at the eclipse and gone blind. I guess and be like, oh my gosh. Then you could say I didn't see this coming. Oh, enjoy the quietness now.
It actually feels good to lay down.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be out soon, aren't you? You're gonna be out real soon.
Yep.
A little eclipse. Well, I was thinking some subject topics. We could talk about. To fire up some lives and maybe during the day or something, and serious one. Maybe that's what we should do, is do the serious ones during the day and keep, the light conversational ones at night. Where we just shoot to do. Oh, is anybody else having an issue? What's the matter?
No, it's the serious ones during the day.
Yeah, serious ones during the day, and then maybe do the other ones in the evening time,
Yeah.
Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Uh-oh.
What were you saying? Has anybody seen what?
Seen what? I didn't say anything. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? See, you made me lose track of mine. I got squirrel brain over here. What was I going to say?
She didn't have no sleep today, y'all.
I never do. Maybe
has anybody seen? I don't know.
I really don't know. It's probably something totally off. Like, I don't know. Oh, hell. I don't remember what I was going to say.
You'll probably remember it later.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I shouldn't have interrupted you.
I know. It doesn't take much, I feel like my grandkids are 2 years old and, easily distracted, I can't help it. But anyhow, I was thinking of different topics to talk about. I was thinking one of them, because I don't think we've really gone into we've talked about it some, but we haven't talked about it a whole lot, like our childhood and how we got to where we are now, and where Gloria and I say my mom, your mom, and our mom. Because I think there's a lot of confusion there, and people are like, what are you talking about? It's like, the whole childhood thing, and there's so many branches off of that you can go to, discussions. It's crazy.
Right.
Oh my word.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, like I can definitely, when you look at our childhood and you look how it all went, and you can easily see how, for me, I could see how, oh, hey, Joyce, how we had two brothers who passed the way they did, I thought, oh no, just interesting, 'cause I know we were talking about it,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and there's people they were like, oh, I didn't know that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cute little doggy on there, isn't it?
What?
Look at that. On Joyce Miracle, she's got a cute little dog.
I'm not looking at
You got Rocco's dog, which I always think is just so daggone cute too. Oh my gosh, I love that face. Doo doo, But
Hey, everybody in chat.
yeah, I know they're
Joyce.
it's a little Shih Tzu, however you pronounce it. People want to pronounce it.
She said, "Did you see her comment, or did you see my comment on your last live?"
Hey Amy, who's that? Who are you talking about?
Joyce.
Oh, you changed your avatar. Okay. See, I thought I recognized the name, but I was like, I don't remember. Oh, it's so cute.
I don't.
Oh, hey Monica.
Hey, everybody.
Oh yeah, I drink coffee. No, I drink coffee all the time. I do. Don't I, Jonah?
Yes, she does. But today she learned out I drink too much water.
No, you don't. I told you we have plenty of water.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, I drank all their
Yeah.
water today. I felt so bad.
Oh, it's a suggestion. Wait a minute. What's a suggestion?
I think you
I don't.
make it funny. On your last live. Charlie girl, where you at? Can you hear me, woman?
Okay.
Come.
What's the suggestion? Joyce, I don't.
Hi, Mayor. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Tat Jack. I'm looking at chat now. Hey,
Oh,
Crystal.
Mayor, I hope he does get to come home Tuesday. I hope he does.
Oh.
We'll be praying for him. Hospitals are no fun, I tell you. Okay, Joyce, remind me what it is. I don't remember. I mean, I could go watch it and go, oh yeah, that's right. I mean, heck, you saw it and just interrupted me, and I can't remember what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've watched them too. Like I remember they were little. They've always covered them. Um, I I do have some questions about that situation. I just don't know if it's appropriate for me to go and ask them. They may say it's not appropriate. Please don't ask.
They did get married.
Well, one of them did.
Well,
see, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm sure the man is very happy and pleased with having.
There's a lot, that could be said about that. I'm not really. I mean, I don't. I just. We discuss it. I know we shouldn't ask them because it probably would be rude, isn't it? Like, how do you?
Well,
I don't.
well, I mean, there are two people in one body.
I know.
So
And
they share the bottom half. They just have two different upper halves.
One head. No, it's all one, and only two heads. And then one half of the body is controlled by one of them, and the other controls the other half. So
Okay.
what?
All right. All right. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
One of them gets mad at him. Could be interesting.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You'll drop the link for Charlie Girl. She just said drop the link.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
She got input on this, don't she?
I think she does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should have a panel with it because there's some questions I got about that whole situation. I mean, that's great that they found love, whatever works for you. But I mean, that's like the true definition of sister wife. You know what I mean? That's a true definition of sister wife right there. I mean, what?
What?
You just like, I mean, to hug them means they're both hugging it, like to get a 2-arm hug. That means the other one has to participate too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions. Charlie girl, what's up?
Not much. What are y'all doing?
Oh, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Tara. Yeah, you see, my imagination is going too berserk on that. Yeah, there's a lot of things there. A lot of ways you could go. What do you think about it, Charlie girl?
I don't think it's appropriate to talk about.
Okay, we won't talk about it.
I mean,
I wasn't going to talk about the inappropriate things.
I knew you
I'm
would.
just one like.
Well, but it was suggested in the chat that we make a parody of it, and that's not something to laugh at.
Oh, you don't want to do a
Mm-mm.
parody laughing at it. Well, maybe not making fun of it, just
my
the questions. I know. It's just the questions that you have.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. I definitely have some opinions on that. Like questions, like and I know they do it, the conjoined twins have gotten married before,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a blessing because they don't live that long, do they? They're
guess
older
they're good.
now, aren't they?
But I mean, like if they get pregnant and they have a baby,
I don't know.
would be?
I don't know that they really did get married because I've been hearing that people putting that on the internet for years.
They showed wedding pictures and everything.
Okay. Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves love.
I know. I mean, that's what I said. It's cool that they found,
Yeah.
They found the love. I just, I don't know. Seriously, that's a good question though. Like, if they were to have a baby, who would be put down as the mom?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Those are. I guess you'd have. I mean, you'd have to. I guess. I mean, I don't.
Hi, everybody.
Where's Iris at tonight? What is she doing? That's nice. Hey, True Seeker, you're new. Well, welcome in. And we were just sitting here having a little chat about the eclipse that's going to happen tomorrow, and it could be bad,
Hey, Mama.
A lot of traffic. Oh, that's ANDV. Good. I'm glad you're out here on the other side then. That's where we're at. Most of us here are on the other side, and we do talk about the serious stuff and sometimes the harder stuff to talk about. But a lot of times we do, especially in the evening time. We just sit back and have fun. And oh, you have a true crime channel. Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Hey,
Amanda, what's up?
Oh, You are Amish now, Tara?
Oh, Tara, you're gonna forgive everything. Oh my goodness. What a brave step you've taken, honey. That's good. Jacqueline. Well, you just have somebody, Tony got her channel. They can drop the link. Nice to meet you too. Go ahead and check out your crime channel. We do like to watch a lot of crime things too. Yeah, I've been watching the, what cases do you cover? Or have you covered, I should say, you know. Ooh, 80%, mama. Ooh, that's not bad. 80%. We're going to have 100 here, so we'll see how it is.
Hey,
I don't know. All right.
everybody.
We're going to be going under the cover of darkness.
I'll be working. I don't get to see it.
You'll be able to look out the window and see. With dark, like they say, then for a few minutes you'll think it's nighttime. You're like, man, it's been a long day.
I know, right?
There it is, Truth Seeker channel. Thank you, Dree. They're watching the Idaho 4 and
Have they actually started that?
no.
What is the hang up? What's taking so long?
I don't know. Well, you know, Shorty gonna have 89.5% coverage there. Awesome. I don't know. The last I heard was they were trying to get it moved to another location because he wasn't gonna get a fair trial there.
Why?
Because he wasn't gonna get a fair trial, and out of Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, cool. Hey, Earth.
Hey, Earth.
They had
Hi, Earth.
where he's trying to get it moved to another location. His attorneys are. But then he did go for a speedy trial at first. So it was supposed to be done within 6 months, whatever. How many? I think it's 6 months. But then they backed out of that. And they changed their mind on that after they found the sheath with his DNA on it inside of the home. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was under one of the bodies.
Yeah, the sheath.
Yeah. So, you know, that's when I've been watching it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait until the case comes out. And then, because when it does go to court, it's going to be real interesting when it gets there finally.
Right.
You know, and then I've been following the Ruby Frank case because that was one I used to watch her on 8 Passengers years, you know, a few years back, because her whole, like all of her family, her brother, she's got a brother and sisters that also have channels, and so they're her parents, you know. And I used to watch her, and then I stopped watching when there was a couple of things that I saw, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this, you know. And the one where she had her, you know, 6-year-old daughter went to school and forgot her lunch. And she went on, made a video to tell everybody that, you know, her teacher called and she said, I'm sorry that you're uncomfortable, but, you know, she told me she made her lunch and she needs to be responsible, and do not give her food. I just hope nobody gives her a lunch, and then she'll remember. And I'm like, she's 6 years old. Are you kidding me? I'm an adult, and there's times I'll still walk out and forget my damn coffee cup after I just poured it. You know? My goodness. Like, you know, and the last thing I'd want is my kid to be hungry at school, because you do realize if your child, if they're hungry, they're not learning like they need to.
Right.
Because they're so occupied with their belly. So, you know.
That's just wishing your child to be miserable, you know? I mean, who does that?
Well, she had a few other things that I was kind of like, what the heck, man? I just don't know. You know, and I get it that everybody parents differently. Some people are more strict. Some people do this. Some people, you know, I get it. But I think there are times that it's like, whoa, that's a little too far, you know? Yeah, and she went way too far. It's horrendous, some of this stuff. But I mean, you know, hey, Becky Hayward.
Hey, Becky.
She she did plead guilty, so she wouldn't have to drag her kids through that. But I don't know if she still realizes yet that what she did was wrong. You know what I mean? She was caught up in the whole religious thing, and this is the devil and it's evil, and I guess she thought her kids were possessed. Something, you know, like, oh my goodness. It was crazy. It was crazy. But even going as far as her daughter, the youngest one, was diagnosed with ADHD. And she didn't believe that either. That
she
it
refused
was
to medicate her.
Yeah, and she's like, nope, she has to pay attention. This is a choice. Like, it was a choice. Everything was a choice. And it was, you know, step in God's light and you won't have ADHD anymore. That kind of thing. And it's like, whoa. I have faith and I understand whatever faith people have. I get it. But I personally believe that we are humans, and my faith says that, you know what, we're able to provide these things for our children and for adults even. We've been given that ability to do those things and to help ourselves out, right? That's how I believe it. I would never look at my job, even though sometimes I wonder, you know, with some of my kids, sometimes like, oh my goodness, are they, you know, I mean, who hasn't looked at their kid and be like, you are possessed, honey? Oh my goodness, you know. I mean, you see a 2-year-old who's screaming and kicking all over the place, and you're like, whoa, you know. But I mean, it's just, are they? No, they're not. They're kids being kids, and, you know. It's I've got a couple kids who have ADHD. And I do realize that they just can't help it, you know?
Well, it's a chemical imbalance in your brain. I have it, and there's not a choice there.
No, there isn't, you know? And I know as a parent, for me, you don't have the choice to have ADHD, but my choice is to try to work with you on your level to match what you need and to try to get my needs that I need from you. What I need you to be doing,
right?
That, you know what I mean? Like, no, I mean, and it's not for me at all. So that's probably not the right terminology to use. What I need you to do for yourself,
right?
You know, like with my 11-year-old, I know, like when we were leaving the hospital and the nurses were telling him something, and I know how he is, right? And I know when he's at the point where he is just not paying attention to you at all. He can look at you, shake his head, and he just keeps right on going, right? He's not paying attention to you. So what you have to do is you have to stop him. And I always just very gently, I take my hand on his chin and I'll go, hey, look at me. And I barely even touch his chin, right? Just to give his attention. And, you know, go, hey, look at me, my eyes, look in my eyes. And he'll look at me and I'll tell him it again. And he'll go, yes, ma'am. You know, and if he's really struggling, then I'll say, what did I just say? And he'll repeat it back to me. And then I know, okay, I've got his attention. He knows what he's supposed to do. And he may do it for 30 seconds and then boom, off to something else, you know. But I know that sometimes I do have to grab his attention to help him do what he needs to do. And, you know, any other time, most of the time, it's you just let them do what they're doing. And, you know, if it's not anything that they have to focus on, it's not a big deal, you know.
Well, I wasn't diagnosed till I was an adult. I didn't realize that I had it till after I had children. And I realized that there was, you know, something going on. And once he was diagnosed, then I thought, hey, I think I have that too, you know.
Yeah.
But like with him, you can't just say, go clean up your room. you gotta go. You gotta say, go pick up all of your dirty clothes and put them in the hamper, and then come back to me. And he comes back. Go in there and straighten your desk up, and then come back to me. I mean, it was,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely step by step.
Yeah, I couldn't just say, go clean up your room.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother was like that. Like, do not give him more than 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that was a challenge, And I know my youngest, little man, he's in there, and my husband's like, oh my gosh, I just told him like 20 times. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm probably have to tell him another 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can say, hey, go do this. And yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And like, he has every intention of doing it. And that's the thing. Is that, I have to remind myself, my kid's not doing this to get on my nerves. He's not doing this to be defiant.
Right.
That is a huge thing, I'm like, he's not doing it intentionally. He has every intention of doing what you ask him to do. It's just that he got sidetracked between here and there. And he'll even, I'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, well, the dog needed da 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 da. And I'm like, hey, but what are you supposed to be doing?
Right.
And I said, what did I ask you to do? And he'll stop and he'll go, oh, yeah, you asked me to go do this. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Mom. I'll go get it done. Now that conversation may happen a few more times before he actually gets to it and gets it done,
Mm-hmm.
And I've just come to accept that. I'm good. I understand that several times a day I may be doing that with a couple of my kiddos. And it's just where they're at with it. That's, hey, I mean, and it's not like they're not, it's just not, they're not doing anything to harm us. And I think when, oh no, Crystal, oh no. I need to come by your house at least 3 times.
So I learned by repetition,
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get there too. If you redirect them enough, they get it,
Yeah.
But you have to just do it until they do. Then it becomes a habit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm lucky that my guys kind of get it. They pick up things real quick and they're on the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're wanting to do 20 things at once, or they don't want to do this like at school. When little man was, before he was diagnosed with dyslexia and dygraphia and stuff, they were like, yeah, he at first his teacher thought he really hates reading and he's dodging it so he doesn't have to do it.
And that pisses me off when teachers do that.
Well, she thought that because he was really good about trying to do that. Like, he would always be like, oh, well, I'll go do this for you. Oh, let me go do this, And she thought about it and she's like, no, I think there's something else going on. Like, she's the one who actually got him in to be diagnosed. Because she started, seeing more of the issues and just being like, okay, he's not just not wanting to do it because he doesn't like it. He's having trouble with it and struggling with it,
Right.
But with the struggling with that, he also has ADHD, which goes hand in hand with dyslexia. So, it's kind of it's really a struggle, especially when he does work really, really hard though. He's very,
yes, he does.
He's doing really well. So, it's just a struggle when they have that.
Shorty,
crazy
put all
mind.
your money on that she is asleep. She's waiting for me to get up here before she just conked out.
Probably is.
She's working her butt off, y'all. So she definitely needs to rest.
Yeah. And she rested some here, but the kids were her entertainment this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said, oh no.
Look, I think she gave them some truth serum or something because they spilled their guts.
That's what they do though. They do that all the time. But they don't spill all of it.
Yeah.
I said, oh, well, did they explain to you this, and this? No. I said, yeah, they stopped before they explained that part. Yeah. I'm sure she worn out. She got 2 days off, but not 2 days in a row. You know
Right.
how it is when you only have one day off. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Shorty's bossing you around, Earth. You're going to take that. Oh, you're going to switch it back? Right. Switch it back to, they don't like fiery. I kind of like the fiery Earth. I think it's kind of cool.
I do too.
It's kind of, interesting. You heard from Iris. What is she doing?
I don't know.
I'm going to have some questions for her when she comes around.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, Iris? I'm going to have some questions for you. But anywho, look, that's how my mind is. You see how that conversation went? We started talking.
Oh, yeah. But
Terrible,
look, I followed you every step of the way. I'm right there with you.
I know, right? I'll tell you what, that's how my mom and that's how our
I'll hunt
conversations
squirrels right there with you.
Hunt squirrel 3 hours later. You're like, how did we even start talking about this? Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's just another one of the cases that I watched that, and I do, my heart goes out to them though, because you got a whole family that's getting persecuted in the media. Different, they're going at them different ways, and I think it's always hard if you're not in that situation, living through it, going through it. Then I guess it's harder to understand, and
right.
So I don't know.
I mean, back when I was growing up, nobody knew what ADHD was or ADD. I didn't have the H part. I just had ADD or have ADD. But so even if things had been different, I probably still wouldn't have ever been tested for it or diagnosed or treated. But my dad, I asked him one time to help me with math, and he told me how to do it, and I did it, and it was wrong, and he yelled at me. And I never asked anybody for help after that because I didn't want to get yelled at. So I suffered.
Yeah.
I had to go to summer school just to graduate because stupid history. I had to take history 3 times. Look, if it's not something I'm interested in, it ain't getting in. It is not getting in my head.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Shorty asked us to be quiet so we don't wake Jenna up. Jenna!
Yeah, we ain't gonna wake her up. She's out.
She's going out. She's out. Darn it. I thought she was moving around just a minute ago. She must be.
She coughed. Probably just turned over.
Switched her pillow or something. We'll hear her snoring soon enough, I'm sure. Jenna! Shorty said to wake you up. She's like, no, she didn't. But yeah, but those are just, okay, back to the crime case. Those are some of the crime cases. What's another one? The Sebastian one. We've been watching that too. And
I've been watching one, and it's called The Apple River Stabbing. I don't know if any of you heard of that. This was in Wisconsin, I think. And these group of 7 or 8 teenagers were tubing, and there were other groups that were tubing in front and behind them. But this man that's probably, well, let's see, I think they said he was 54. This happened 2 years ago. But a guy that was with him, with his group, lost his phone. So he decided that he was going to he had a snorkel with him, was going to take his snorkel and go back and see if he could find the phone. And his friend was like, "Don't worry about it. I got insurance. It's not a big deal." But he insisted. So, and they were all drinking. Even the teenagers were drinking. And so he goes back over there, and there's this side, that side, and then there's the truth in the middle. So I know we're probably not ever going to hear the complete truth, but what I think probably happened was, here's a grown man in a 1.5 foot water with a snorkel, snorkeling, and those kids were probably taunting him or whatever. But at one point he gets up and he never says a word. He gets up and comes over and kind of charges them. And then they knocked his snorkel out of his hand. It was not on purpose. He goes and he finds it, and he walks around the front of the group. And I mean, it was just like a perfect storm. These two girls from another group came over because they were saying that these group of teenagers were they thought, harassed by this man. So the two women come walking up, and one of them tells him just to go away. She's get the F out of here. And he punches her in the face. Well, when that happened, then other members of her group come running over, and nobody knew it, but this man that had the snorkel guy had a knife in his pocket. And I mean, every bit of this is on video because this is the day and age. We record everything.
Yeah.
And so every bit of it is on video, but he does have this crazed look on his face, They ended, they pushed him after he punched the girl. Then they pushed him down. I think somebody maybe punched him. He fell back in the water. He tried to get up. Another guy said that he pushed him back down, thinking that if he did that, then everybody else could get away from him. So it ends up he stabs 6 people, and one of them dies.
Oh no.
Yeah. So he's got 5 attempted murder charges and a murder charge.
Now, have they gone to court? Because I saw
it's in court now. Yeah.
One of the girls,
day.
Did she take the stand and then they showed her a picture and she lost it?
Oh yeah, they've all done that. Even the guy.
Was that okay? Okay, because I saw a brief little clip and I was like, "Ooh, what case is this?" Must have been that one. Yeah.
It's interesting to me because it is all on camera, and so even though you see it, you're looking at it. Somebody else may look at it and see something different.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see what the jury says.
Yeah.
Because of course he's caught. He's saying it's self-defense. There were like 13 people around him that were, he said ganging up on him. But I mean, it all went crazy after he punched the girl.
Yeah, you punched a girl in the mouth.
Right.
And started a physical altercation.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? I mean,
the teenage boys were, like I said, taunting him. One of them yelled out. They asked him what he was doing, and he said looking for little girls. But it never. I mean, that's not on video, so nobody will ever know if that was true.
Yeah.
So then the boys started saying that he was, yelling out that he was looking for little girls. That's when the 2 women walked over, and then it just went. And all of this happened once he punches the girl. All of this happens within, I think, like 30 seconds. He stabbed 6 people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I think it will be I think it'll be split because they're able to take that and break down what was happening when he stabbed this one and what was happening when he stabbed this one. The first guy had pushed him down and was like, the guy said that he fell forward, but the snorkel guy thought he was lunging at him and he had already gotten the knife out and he stabbed the one guy. He then stands up. There's another girl who is walking away and he stabs her in the side. So, I think the first one might be self-defense. The second one, not so much. And then, yeah, I mean, it's very graphic because he didn't just stab, he stabbed and pulled up. And so major injuries.
Oh, same shit. Is that true? Is that the one she's talking about?
Is that the one?
Charlie girl she's talking about? Is this the same one?
Yes. That's what I was just saying.
Okay, did he have some kind of special forces training or something?
Oh, makes you wonder, yeah.
And that can be an extra charge on him too. Like that could really hurt him if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know if he had any military. They've not really told his background.
Oh, they'll get to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, the guy that he disemboweled survived, and he was one of the last ones this week to testify, and he showed his scar.
Oh no!
And it's about a foot long. So he didn't just, and they did. He said they asked him, said, "Did they cut you in order to repair?" He said, "No, the cut was already made." So a foot long. So he stabbed in and up. So yeah, that was more than just.
Yeah, it wasn't just
yourself.
Yeah, that's going to be where they're going to get him, I think.
Okay. His best friend said he was in the military in Romania. I've not seen the best friend's testimony yet, so. Yeah.
Well, that could really, I have heard where they've used that in cases, and it really can count against them. You use that deadly force that you were taught in a civilian setting. That's not good.
And the ones in chat that have been following it, did you not see how wild his eyes looked? I mean, it was like he just checked out.
It makes you wonder.
And then after, so.
Well, he could have had, look, if he was military somewhere and was in some kind of battle,
military in Romania.
Yeah, so if he did, then he could have checked out. He could have had a PTSD moment, and we don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because that,
and that's almost, I mean, the look on his face, I would dare say that probably played into it.
Maybe he did. Maybe, you have those moments where you flashback, something triggered, you know what I mean? That's, we use the word trigger a lot, but it, it happens. Maybe that's, for a little moment, he thought he was back in wartime,
Right.
With injuries like that, it kind of sounds like, I mean, that really to me sounds like that's, I don't know. We'll have to watch it and see.
Yeah.
Oh, the man ran to the kids and tried to flip the tubes over.
He ran to them. I don't know that he was trying to flip their tubes. I think maybe he lost his footing when he fell. To me, it kind of looked like he fell into the tubes. And these were teenage boys, and they felt, that he was in their personal space, which he was. He fell on top of them. But my opinion is he wasn't trying to flip the tubes.
I don't know. I hadn't seen it, so I'll have to watch that. You said Ernesto, he testified for the defense since they had a Spanish interpreter on Friday.
Yeah, they were calling him a raper and a pedo and said that he was looking for little girls, which I'm thinking he probably never said any of that. Or if he did, if they were taunting him, saying, "What are you doing? You got a kid's snorkel and you're down here in 1.5 feet of water," and what are you doing? He probably said, "Looking for little girls," as a joke, which he never should have said. Or he didn't say it at all. I mean, I know how teenagers are. Especially if you get in a group, they have a group mentality, and it just kind of takes over any kind of common sense.
Yeah, but to do what he did, like,
oh no,
that's
right, exactly. No, I'm saying he had no business even getting the knife out.
Yeah, it's just walk to the side, get out of the water, and walk away. Let let the silly kids do whatever, and just know that they're disrespectful or rude or whatever. Who knows? I mean,
yeah,
he was looking for
it's been
himself.
very interesting. Like I said, normally when you watch a trial, there's no, like, at least not this much video evidence. I mean, the entire thing was recorded.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see that, and it'll be very interesting to see what the jury does.
Is he saying he's innocent? Or, I mean, obviously he didn't plead guilty, right?
I've not heard him say how he's pled.
Because he's got a trial. If he pled guilty, then there wouldn't be a trial. They would have just given out sentencing, right?
Right.
So they've got to be going under the defense of,
Yeah, I don't know if they
were
offered
teenagers.
him any kind of plea deal or anything, or what, but
teenagers who were taunting me, so I ended up killing one and attempting to kill 5 others. I mean, that's a long shot, I mean.
But, like I said, at certain parts, it does look like self-defense. So
But, what weapons did they have?
Yeah, they didn't. But other than the fact that there were so many of them, and maybe he felt like they were going to try to drown him or something. I mean, you don't know what goes through somebody's head if they're faced with a fight or flight situation. I don't know what I would do. Yeah,
but
this was the first week, I think, of the trial, so it won't be too hard to catch up, because
he's
go ahead.
Tubing down the river, right? Okay, we've been tubing. I can honestly tell you, I've never taken a knife with me. I've never thought of taking a knife with me.
So the reason that it was said that he had the knife was they had been tubing before, and they knew that they wanted to tie their tubes together so that they could tube as a group. And in order to do that, they had to be able to cut pieces off, and which his when they did the opening arguments, his attorney said that Ernesto had called him and said, "Hey, we're probably going to need something to cut the rope or whatever. Can you bring a knife?" And so he brought it. They did what they had to do to get their tubes together, and he said he thought about taking it back to the truck, but then for whatever reason stuck it in his pocket.
General story.
Oh, muter. You promised.
I got it. Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh, the Rittenhouse trial, huh? It was a pocket knife. So he did that much damage with the pocket knife.
No, it was a, I would call it a hunting knife that folds. I mean, it was not just a pocket knife.
It was a little bit bigger.
I would say the blade was probably maybe 4 inches long, 4 or 5 inches long.
Yeah. Well, they still still consider those pocket knives, though.
Yeah.
They come in a variety of, size. Well, I mean, I guess I'd be worried about it getting wet and getting rusty.
My daddy went nowhere without his pocket knife.
It was kind with the clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know those kind. Yeah. Mm. Well, it had to have been decent to do that kind of damage.
Well, here's another thing.
Somewhat.
I don't know at what point he was able to open it, because you never see that. So it's like, was it in his pocket open?
Or he's just really fast with it, I mean.
But he was in the process, after he punched the girl, one of the other guys immediately punched him, knocked him back. He didn't have time to do that. Because when he comes, and I slowed it down to watch it, and once he gets pushed down in the water, he sits up, somebody else pushes him forward, he sits back up, and as he's coming up, the knife is in his hand open.
Yeah. Well, you realize that some of them are so good at it that they will have it open before they even pull it out of their pocket. You know what I mean? That it doesn't take, I mean, it's like bam, bam. They're pulling it out, opening it,
If there was a sleeve, they've not said. I don't think so. Because it was one that folds, you wouldn't need a sleeve.
Yeah. If he was well rehearsed with it,
Yeah.
He could have one swift move and had it open. It just, I don't know. That's just sad. It's just really sad that, that it turned to that.
And his poor mama, the kid that got killed.
Oh God.
She got up there and testified, of the events following up to that, and just giving like a characterization of her son, and oh my God, I just bawled.
Yeah, that's where I always lose it. Oh my gosh.
She said that that morning, she said he had plans in the afternoon to go golfing, but another friend said, "Hey, why don't we go tubing? It's time to go golfing." And the mother, when he was telling her that what he was going to do, she said, "Oh, well, your dad's flying in today. I was going to have you pick him up at the airport." And he said, "Well, I can pick Dad up." And she said, "No, go have fun." So she blames herself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And all these teenagers had been friends since 7th grade.
Yeah.
So they,
and it's sad because
took it hard.
I'm sure no matter, what was going on, it didn't equal someone losing their life,
No.
those events that happen, and just, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, every single one of them was fueled by alcohol. So who knows how much
drinking?
Alcohol? Yes, the man was. Everybody was. And that could have been the look on his face, because he was drunk and was unsure what was going to happen. I don't know. It's just, it's a sad situation.
That is.
And it happened 2 years ago, and he was a kind of a hefty guy. I would never have been able to pick him out today from back then, because he's lost over half his body weight.
Yeah. Now, has he been locked up this whole time, or is he out on
I don't think so, but I don't know. You would think he would have been. I mean, they had very strong evidence against him. So Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to prove that he did it, and obviously self-defense, or he was in fear for, but I don't know if they're going to be able to justify those actions, the force
Well,
that
that's
he
why I
showed.
think what they're going to have to do is take each stabbing as a separate incident, which it was, and they're going to have to say, did he, was this premeditated? Was this homicide? Was it self-defense? They're going to have to take it each stabbing at a time.
Yeah, but even that's going to be challenging though, because after the first person, honestly, after he punched that girl in the face, okay, it basically it's game on after that point, right? Like, you punch somebody, we're going to get you and get you out of here. Like, maybe they probably try to take him to the edge and say, get on out of here, whatever. The edge of the bank, and say, get out of the water and go. But I don't know. I mean, see, I would argue that they were all doing self-defense, because you went and punched this girl in the mouth, then you started stabbing. Like, the first person you stabbed, everyone else is doing self-defense at that point, not you. It's almost how, what I'm saying. And I'm just looking at both sides, kind of going,
like I said,
I could see.
The first one that he stabbed, I mean, definitely he'll get charged with assaulting the woman. Then the second thing would have been the first stab, which was the one that he disemboweled. But I can see when you watch it and you slow it down, he's down in the water. This kid is standing up kind of over him. And the kid said that the reason he went over there to begin with, because he was with the group that the two ladies were in.
Yeah.
He saw her get punched and he comes running over there, and he was going to try to break it up.
Yeah.
But so he said that, he thought that if he had just held him down or whatever, he said, like you do when two kids are fighting, you hold them down. Well, that's what he was trying to do. But the guy, he said, thought that he was attacking him, and that's why he stabbed him. So I don't know.
Well, they're going to have to take into consideration that they were in the water. That's, your movements are different. You are going to be slipping on rocks. You're going to,
right. And I truly do think that he rushed them to scare them, and I think he lost his footing and fell into their tubes.
Yeah.
And they took that as a sign of aggression, So,
which it is.
It is
because he
rushed them.
Yeah,
right.
If you charge at him, that's what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's just, that sounds like a mess. I mean, that's.
It is. I would not want to be those jurors.
No. Yeah, except for, I mean, somebody lost their life, and that's the sad part there.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I still can't believe you really haven't got into the Idaho 4 case, though.
I don't know.
Honestly. That perplexes me.
That I haven't?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because that case.
I was interested in it when it first happened. But because it's drug on so long, I've just kind of lost interest.
Well, I took a little step back and said, okay, we'll wait till the trial, And they were supposed to do it in October, and then it got postponed, and then blah, 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 all the different. I'm like, okay, well, here when the trial's going, then I'll start really, But it's perplexing to me. It really is. Like, that just boggles the mind. The way that case, I don't know how one person does that.
Well, and besides that, the girl that opens her door, sees him, shuts the door, goes to bed, and sleeps all night, and then wakes up and finds everybody dead.
Like 10 hours later.
That is the biggest
Mystery. Right?
Yeah, mystery for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of questions around that. I'm like,
Mhm.
what? I'm sorry. I don't know if I don't know.
I mean,
And that
why
he
would
was
he have
able,
spared her, especially
yeah,
if he knew that she saw him?
yeah. I don't, like I said, that case perplexes me. Yeah, they take longer. Yeah, Delia Wupu said that's death penalty case, so it's going to take longer.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and this
Good night,
guy's name.
Joyce.
Good night, Joyce. This guy's name is Nicola Mew, the stabbing, and he has
Okay.
been in jail since the stabbing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of cases out there to follow and cover,
Mm-hmm.
It's something, I tell you. So many different things,
Oh, wow.
It's like,
Look what
wow.
Fancy said.
Hmm.
Fancy said one of the nurses she
Oh,
worked with grew up with one of the girls, one of the victims.
oh no. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, well, none of it, I bet none of them bargained for any of that,
No.
going to the river and just,
And like I said, it is very graphic. They don't blur anything. I mean, you see
Oh
it all.
no.
Yeah.
Oh
They had,
no.
and before the trial began, there was question as to whether the judge was going to allow things like that to be seen. And he said, it's a public trial, and it is not. He said, I have to follow the law, and I can't decide one way or the other what gets shown and what doesn't. If it's evidence, we have to show it.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Well,
Oh, we're talking about it's called the Apple River stabbing. And then before you came in, Fancy, we were talking about the Kohlberger case. So are
yeah.
you saying that one of your coworkers grew up with
The Kohlberger, I
one of
bet.
okay.
I bet you. You talking about Kohlberger?
Yep, do you whoopoo, you're right. One of the guys, and it was the guy, I believe, that the first one that he stabbed, he did have his hands up at his neck. Now, I'm not going to say they were around his neck, but they were up at his neck. So,
Mm,
I don't know that
I don't,
I
mm,
can't say what I would do.
you try
I
not
mean,
to get
I
into
would
a
hope
situation like that.
that right. I would hope that I would have sense enough to know that, you know, they
Yeah,
don't have weapons, I'm still able to fight. I need to keep fighting and not resort to that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, she's talking about
Mm.
Koberger.
Moscow, Idaho. Yeah. It's sad. They tore that house down in that case too.
I sure did.
Which, I mean, I don't know. There was a big topic about that too one night on one of the channels I was watching.
Well, yeah,
They were
because
in there.
now there's no. I mean,
Yeah,
what if
they'd be able to
something
go.
comes out that they needed evidence from that house? It's gone.
Yeah, they won't be able to take the jury and walk back through it or anything.
Mm-mm.
Which, that's. I don't know. I think I would have fought it and keep that until after the trial's over.
Right.
Because
Yep.
I would want to walk through that house myself, and you explain to me how one person can do this.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they had to have been subdued somehow.
Yeah.
Like there has to be taser marks, something. Like I would have fought like hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that they didn't, but just we're talking a very short amount of time that this guy did.
Right.
And you can tell me this man did this all on his own by himself? And the interesting thing too is, and this was one of the conversations on Lost Souls one night, and I was, sitting there at work one night, just listening, working away, like, oh man, you're right, they didn't find anything in his car.
Right.
Nothing.
No blood, nothing.
Nothing. Even if he had gone to clean his car, there would have been some traces somewhere. As gruesome as the scene was,
of him cleaning it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And there was none of that. And so then there was a discussion. What, did he have a bodysuit on? Like,
right.
Did he had to strip down before he got in his car? Was there another car that was involved, which would mean that somebody else was driving, or he used somebody else's car? I mean, there was just all these things, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. And they do have him tracked.
I was going to say, there is a digital footprint.
They have his car tracked. Now, he did turn his cell phone off. So they don't have that digital footprint. They have it up to a certain point, and then that's it, But, I don't know. I guess, like I said, I would just like to know how one person did that much in such a short amount of time without any. The only thing they have him that ties him to that is his DNA on a sheath.
Which is crazy to think of. I mean, it was a massacre. Let's just say it.
It was bad.
That is the only place that they found his DNA.
Yeah.
On that sheet.
Yeah. And I just, I do wonder, I think, but what if?
Now,
because he's not a duck,
Did he? One of them ordered food. Was he a delivery person?
No.
Okay.
He was not.
Because I was thinking, well, okay, think about it. What if they ordered a pizza? They take the pizza, he's carrying the pizza, gives it to them. They take the pizza box, lay it on their bed. Well, they could do, what's that called? Some kind of transfer of DNA.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it was on the, from my understanding, I don't want to misinformation, from my understanding, is that it was on the snap of the sheath. So that if you clean the sheath.
Sheath. I thought you said sheet. Okay, I got you.
No, the sheath, the knife covering.
Gotcha.
Which they were questioning, well, why would that even have been pulled out? You pull the knife, why would you have the sheath? Did it fall out of his pocket? Did this? I mean, a lot of questions there, and the location of it was odd. I don't know. I mean, how does your DNA get on there? You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I don't know. I just, like I said, how did one person do that in such a short amount of time and walk away and not get anything in this vehicle?
Right.
I don't know. I guess called it a sleeve. The sleeve. I call it a sheet. What is a sleeve? Sheath? Sheath? What did they?
SHEATH. Sheath.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. It's just perplexing to me how I just don't know. And there's questions about one of the boyfriends that he said he'd never been there, but there is pictures of him with his truck and the girlfriend there in that town that he said he'd never been to. So little things like that really make me kind of go, whoa, wait a minute. Is there more to this than what, is meeting the eye here? I don't know. Some weird things, but who knows? Yeah, he is disturbing looking.
Yeah. Ted Bundy vibes, big time.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there was so much that he did. So, if he was going room to room doing all that, how in the world did he not have anything in his vehicle?
Right. So how did they pinpoint him? I can't remember.
Because that DNA, they ran the DNA that was on the sheath and everything, and then he had, I think it was his dad had done like a 23andMe thing, and it popped up. That's how they got to him.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate. What if either the person that did it say that it's not him, the person that did it, or one of the people in that room bought a knife with the sheath from a garage sale?
Yeah, I thought about that too, except they have record of him ordering it off of Amazon.
Okay.
A couple months prior, a knife that supposedly was used, same kind.
Right.
Same type, and I just think, well, what if he sold it to somebody? But wouldn't you be yelling that out? Like, I'd be saying, oh man, I got rid of that. I mean,
bought it at a pawn shop, or
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and is he sitting there really saying, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it? I mean, or are you, I don't know. I think, I honestly, I feel there's a little more to it than just him. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I would like to think he would be the only one. I just got this nagging feeling there's something else with that case. There's something else with
it. Is it? Am I correct in saying that they had been out clubbing or whatever?
Yeah.
So, if they were inebriated, it would have been
well, they weren't that inebriated because they have them on video walking. Okay. Where they had been walking home, and they stopped to get food from the food trucks, and so they weren't, I don't know what their alcohol level was, but they were walking just fine. Where I wouldn't think, well, they were stupid, so drunk they couldn't walk straight. Yeah. Like, they appeared to still have their wits about them to where they would have been able to fight back. Because there was one guy who did come up and talk to him on the street, and they were able to walk away from him and like, hey, they weren't, I mean, I don't know. It just, what I understand too is that they were out, at the club, but it wasn't. I don't know. It's just disturbing to me, that case is. It really is. I just feel like.
I was wondering about that same shit. If there were any drugs involved.
Yeah.
I mean, that would explain if he was, if he was sober, that would explain that he would be able to overtake them.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, even, even putting a huge tarp in there, you still would have to be able to get to the gears. You'd have to get to the pedals. I mean, even if he bagged everything, like, he had to have been super meticulous.
Wasn't there video evidence of him being at some gathering outside where they had like bonfires and he like hid, or was that just like a reenactment?
I don't know. I don't recall seeing that.
I may have dreamed that.
Maybe. Oh gosh. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know, it's college. They do all kinds of things like that, but
and didn't he try to date one of the girls and she turned him down or something?
I heard something, not necessarily date, but that she was rude to him or something.
Yeah.
They like, laugh at him or whatever, He was an odd duckling. I mean, that's for sure. He's yeah, and he is highly intelligent. And yeah, that's what they're saying is he's very highly intelligent.
Right. And
does
I
he?
mean, the trial does start, I will be glued to it. I'm sure, but I've just lost interest because it's taken so long.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you don't hear a lot about it anymore.
yeah. And they're not going to give you everything. I mean, they
No.
never do. You're not going to hear all the, especially before the trial.
Right.
It would be. I mean, you don't show your ace card, but there's got to be a reason he's still locked up. They've obviously got, I don't know. I think they got more than just that DNA on the sheath.
Oh yeah.
And then they've got to have something. I mean, and it is highly sus that your cell phone is off. Said it went dead. I don't know. And that he would drive around at night. He said he had a problem sleeping, so he would drive around at night. It was not uncommon for that. Which they'd be able to look that up.
Yeah.
Very easily, just as they did that night, and be able to track him on the the cameras, the dot cams, whatever they call them there, and see his whereabouts. And see, were you over in this neighborhood driving around? Were you over here? Were you over there? Why? I don't know. It's all suspicious to me, but I just wonder, have they tracked any of the other vehicles? Any of the other vehicles that are associated with them? And there was one. There was a video of like a Jeep. I think it was a Jeep or a 4Runner or something like that, like a SUV that pulled up, and you see somebody get in, but you see other people and you see somebody else in the car driving around that time.
Didn't the Daybell trial start on the 1st?
The which one?
Daybell, Chad Daybell.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, see, same shit. It almost seems like because he's over and over and over again, right? Around that house. But if it's a route that he would drive all the time, it may not have had anything to do with that particular house. I'm just saying, arguing on the other side, like maybe it would ring true that what he was saying was he couldn't sleep and he would go driving around at night. Right? So that would be on his defense that, yeah, you're going to track me around that house because I drive all around that neighborhood. Track me to any other house. They could argue that. I'm not saying the man didn't have anything to do with it, because I'm just saying I just don't think he acted alone. Yeah. I think there's more to it than maybe not, maybe, I don't know. I can't help but think that there's somebody else involved somehow. Something, I don't know. If it were me, I'd be rolling. I'd be like, hey, look, I didn't do this, but I know he did. I don't know. Yeah. She said jury selection.
Yeah, I'm just reading that.
Was it 40 minutes? Well, even if it was 20 minutes away, that's still a good ways to be. I don't know. And they did track him to the woods or whatever the next day.
Was he in the woods?
I wonder if there was a fire or anything in there. Like, was there a burn area? For sure they would have looked for that.
Was he in the woods?
Apparently they tracked him to some wooded area. Wasn't that right? Because they followed his whereabouts all over the place.
Yeah.
Which, they can track you anywhere, man. Telling you.
I don't know how the Daybell trial has been so publicized. How in the world did they find 52 jurors that knew nothing about it?
I don't know, but they already tried her, right?
Yep.
Now he's up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, may not turn out too good for you, bud. It didn't turn out too good for her.
Nope.
Yeah, but that Kohlberg case, we may never know, but I would love to know exactly how all that went. You know what I mean? I would. I would. I would. I would. I would love to know. How did you get in the car and keep it so damn clean? I'd like to just know for my everyday life. You know, like, can I get in without getting dirt in my car? You know, I mean, seriously, like, I mean, how in the world did you pull that off in such a short amount of time? You had to have been so meticulous. And being meticulous, as anybody who has OCD of any kind, that takes time. You know, this wasn't a rush job, but you did this very quickly, a very short amount of time. From the time you pulled up there till you pulled back out, how did you manage to do all this alone and keep everything just like you're supposed to? You know, like,
wonder if he was already in there hiding.
Yes, but see that blows it out of the water, him being in his car. So there's, you know what I mean? Unless he had somebody else driving his car, which you would have found evidence of them driving his car at that point, you know? And I mean, he's, you know, whoever it was supposedly dressed in all black with a hoodie. Did he have, see, I'm thinking you could put a rain suit on underneath, right? And if you gone to your car, stripped everything off very quickly, gloves and everything, and then you'd have regular clothes on underneath all that, right? Then you put it all in a bag. Could have double bagged it before you got in the car. You put it in the trunk, and you would have got into the car clean. Maybe that's how he did it.
But you know, I mean, they find like microscopic.
I know,
pieces of DNA.
If he was sitting there he would have had to do it very quickly. But again, that was the whole thing. The whole thing, that discussion that night was the whole thing is the timing, the time. You'd have to move very quickly. And to be very meticulous, you would have had to move super, super fast.
So how do they know though that he moved quickly?
Because of the time that his car was spotted. That track that they have on him. He spotted here at this time, he spotted here at that time. And they know the time roughly when it occurred. Well, to have gotten back out, it's just not, he didn't have 10 hours to go do the crime and then clean up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because his vehicle was spotted, and they see him on the camera.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. He had to have had something very well rehearsed, stripping it off outside of the vehicle, away from the vehicle, as to not getting it on the outside completely. Like double, triple gloves, the clothing, you'd have to have plastic underneath. Then that would inhibit your movement, I would suspect, you know? Like, I don't know.
Well,
it's just all.
But if they're able to track that he purchased that knife, they'd be able to track that he purchased all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. It could be. It could be. Yeah, he was a gentleman unless he was killing you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, Karen, it's not going to be, see, they're not even going to have that case until 2025. March, oh my goodness. They could. They might be trying to sit there and draw it out. I mean, I don't know. To me, that still says if you're still locked up and you're able to pull this out, and, oh man, you're going to sit there in jail until then.
Yeah, and if you knew that you were innocent, why would you want to do that?
Yeah. They're going to have to come up with something. You know, I mean, like I said, I think we got more on them. Naked with a black coverall, one thing to get rid of. Yeah, but if he was naked underneath, then blood and material would have gotten on him. It would have soaked through. Then he would have got into the car, and it would have gotten onto the car. That's why I'm thinking if he had on shorts and a shirt or something, and then he put on like rain gear, the plastic, you know, and then put on the pants and the hoodie and some gloves, that would have protected him a lot, except for his face. So if he got to his car, went and took everything off, put it in a bag, and, you know, made sure he put it in like a surgical tech would, you know, then to, you know, clean his face with wipes or something. I don't know.
Was he a surgical tech?
No.
Oh.
No, but he's smart enough that he can study how to do it. It doesn't take much.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did hear something on that, something he had studied. I can't remember what it was.
He studied a lot of stuff, though. He was like a career college kid. He
Right.
really, yeah, he basically, I guess he was planning on being in college his whole life, you know, which I don't know. Did he think he was that good that he'd get away with it? I mean, I guess by his cell phone going dead, you know what I mean, losing the cell, you know, whatever. Maybe he thought he was safe, but I guess he didn't plan on the cameras catching him on the interstates and stuff, huh?
Well, I don't understand why, if it was premeditated, why he would even take his phone with him.
I guess maybe he thought he was safe by turning it off. Yeah, he was a criminologist.
There you go.
He studied a lot. That's what I'm saying. I think he thought he could outsmart the system.
Mm-hmm.
If he did it, you know. I'd still like to know how he did it and killed 4 people. I don't know. The time frame is the thing that's a kicker.
What blows my mind with him is that I have never seen him with any other expression on his face.
That's kind of scary, isn't it?
It is.
That is.
I mean, there's nothing.
Even when the police pulled him over. Did you see that where they pulled him over with his dad in the car on the way back? Same expression. Like, there's like in video, you know, clips that they have throughout, you know, does he ever smile? Like, I don't think there's a picture of him smiling anywhere. Or maybe they just don't show it. I don't know. It's just, that is weird to me. I agree with you on that one. Blank effect. Oh, yeah, it's definitely a blank effect. But like I said, I would probably will never know. But if they could explain how all that happened, and, you know, and I think if there's any hiccups in the case, it's going to be, how did one person do all that so quickly? You have him here and here at these times. How is it he didn't get anything in his vehicle?
Right.
So you know, if he's innocent, and I'm not saying he is or he isn't, okay? I'm just saying, if he is, that would definitely be where I'd be pushing. You know, like, hey, there's nothing in my car. How can you think I did this and didn't get one speck of anything? Because they ransacked that car high and low looking for something. They didn't even, like you said, they didn't even find cleaner. So it's not that he did it and then cleaned. You know, so they're going to have to reenact it and figure out how would he do all that, not have anything get into his vehicle, keep it that clean without having to clean, you know, do that. I don't, you know, who knows? And like I said, maybe they were, you know, they're college kids, you know, and I'm not saying drinking and dabbling in anything is right. I'm just saying they were just trying to live the college life, you know. And I mean, you know, kids when they in college, they go out and they drink and they have fun, and you know, it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah, whew. Yeah, but they did spend a whole lot of money, man. Ooh wee. There's been a lot of money put into that case, you know.
And it's just getting started.
Mhm. Yeah, do you, Wufu? Yeah, I would like to know. He hasn't been caught doing anything before, you know. That doesn't mean that he hadn't.
Right.
But this is your first time? Wow. Like
First time
it's
caught.
yeah, exactly. You know, I'm like, wow, this is the first time you've ever done anything like this. I mean, it's one thing to study, but to actually do it is totally different, right? I mean, you can study all day long. You can watch movies and videos and you know read books and you know learn how to do you know some kind of surgical procedure, but until you actually do it hands on, right? It's totally different. It's a different experience. So I'm just wondering how on earth did this guy, if this is your first time doing anything like this, damn,
Yep.
that's I gotta say that's an impressive feat there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like to me, it just has more of a experience. You definitely would have to have experience, I would imagine. I mean, how in the world? I don't know. Like I said, that case is
But if
mind-boggling to
he
me.
studied for 4 years, I mean, he's probably acted things out so many times that it was just second nature, you know?
Well, like I don't know though. Studying it and then actually doing it,
Yeah.
totally, totally separate. You know, like I don't know. And to pull that off, there's so many components into that. There's so many components there. Like you know, getting there, gaining access, you know, and then doing the I don't know.
And knowing where they were going to be at that time
Yeah,
when you went into the house.
yeah. It just everything plays into it. I mean, it was very well thought out. That was planned for sure.
Have they said the roommate that saw him in the hallway, have they mentioned what her excuse was for all that, for waiting that long to call?
Um, she had just gone to bed. She didn't think anything of it.
I heard she said she was scared.
There was that too. But if you were scared, then why wouldn't I mean, I would, man, I would have picked up the phone. I would have been 911. Look, there's
Yeah.
this creepy looking dude that just came through my house, and I don't know what's going
And
on.
I
Could you
definitely
please
wouldn't
send
have laid down and
you
gone
know,
to sleep for him to come back in there and get me.
I know. I wouldn't have either. Are you gonna say that she didn't hear anything? Maybe she had earbuds in and listening to music. I don't know. And never make eye contact. Well, I bet not. Proudfoots. Oh, Nikita. Yes. Look, man, that's another whole case. We were talking about that too. Oh, Nikita, I hope you feel better. Oh, Nikita's sick.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, that the Proudfoots, those, you know, I'm just, you know, kids don't just come up missing. They don't just disappear like it's Harry Potter, going into a brick wall and into another dimension, you know,
Right.
magical world. I mean, that case, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say, you know, it just, I do worry that it's been how long? Don't you think if he was staying somewhere, somebody would step up and say, "Hey, he's here," blah 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 blah?
Right.
I don't know. Oh, Kaylee's mom and dad was on his. Who is an MMA fighter? Hmm. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't imagine Chris's ex-wife doing anything like. I mean, anything's possible, but my understanding is she got custody of the daughter because were they still in a custody battle?
Well, yes, she got custody, but he still had parental rights and visitation.
Yeah.
Even after what I consider kidnapping his own child.
Yeah. That's true. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't let my child go back there. I wouldn't care. I'd tell the judge, you better lock me up then. I'm not telling you where they are because you can't keep track of that child. You don't know where he is. You're not going to lose mine either. I'm sorry. If I hear a loud thud, I check.
Mm-hmm.
I check what's going on. My two oldest boys that are home now. Well, one's home, the other's in the Navy now. But when they're upstairs and I hear a thud, I message them,
Mm-hmm.
and they know they better message me back or I'm coming out. Because if you don't, I'm worried that something has happened.
Supposedly he did answer her back.
Oh, really?
She asked what happened, and I don't know if he said he fell or something, but that he was fine. And she said, "Go to bed," and he said, "Good night, I love you."
Yeah. I don't know. See,
I want to know the timeline of Chris because he was working out of town. Who's
hours
to
away.
say that he didn't do something and then dispose of him on his way to wherever he was working in Memphis.
Well, I think that's why Nancy Grace was getting the information on the cars and stuff because it, they're traceable. You can take every step of the way in that, digital footprint.
Right. And I think the reason that she went back with him when he went back to work was because he made her.
Pretty good. I don't.
Because he was either afraid that she would talk or
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, like I said,
she looks scared to death to me.
I heard that they heard a thud, but didn't check it out. That's what I heard.
She didn't go in there, but she yelled down the hall, "Hey, what's going on? Are you okay?"
That's what she says.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's.
Yeah. But I didn't hear that at first. At first, it was just they heard a thud and didn't pay any attention to it. Then maybe she did say it before. I don't know. I just didn't hear that. It wasn't until it was brought out. Hey, he has seizures. Why didn't you go in and check on him?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. He was autistic. There's no way in hell that he left that house with no shoes on. That does not happen.
Well, something about he couldn't put his shoes on himself or something.
I've never heard that.
I don't know. I'm like, did she say that? I don't think that's
exactly. Delia Wupu. I thought the same thing. She was definitely scared of him sitting there.
Yeah. Like Nikita said, that 3-hour, yeah, exactly. Was that 3-hour phone conversation normal for them? Did they sit and talk for 3 hours or not? Any other time,
Right.
you know, or even 2 hours, you know, I mean, you know, give us something that's close to having that long of a conversation, you know. I don't know. And it did. I'm going to tell you right now, when I heard him say, oh no, he didn't have any shoes on. And how do you know he didn't have shoes? All his shoes were here. But the way, to me, the way it came across was like there wasn't a second thought at all. Like, oh yeah, he didn't have shoes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did you know he didn't have shoes? Like,
right.
I would have to tell you, you know, I would have to search my kids' closets, under their beds, you know, because they have plenty of room under there. They put stuff under there. So I would check under the beds. I would check the bathrooms. I would check the garage. For some of my kiddos, the little ones, I'd be checking out back here. I'd be checking out front. Yes, because they take their shoes off, and yes, they have a designated place to put them. But I can tell you right now, as any parent can tell you, from sometimes your teenagers are worse about it than the little ones. Now, so I do have some that are very particular about it, and they'll put them in the same spot every time. So you know that's where theirs are going to be. My little lady there, though, I just found a boot of hers in a toy box today. I was like, what is this? You know, what? Come on, you know. So I would have to really be, you know, searching, and then I would have to really think about all the shoes that they have and be like, okay, this one has this pair, this pair, this pair, this pair. Oh, and this pair too. Are they all here? Oh, and what about the slides and the flip flops? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have a whole slew to go through. And I understand they only had the one, but you're 100% sure that he didn't have a pair of slides or, you know, a quick pair of, you know, flip flops or something that he would have slid on his feet that you missed or forgot, you know. I mean, does he only have one or two pair that you keep track of? I mean, I don't know, you know, but the way that came across to me was a little too sure, if that makes sense, you know, where I was like, yeah, exactly, Nikita. No shoes, but he took a flashlight. So and then okay, look.
How would they know
you
he
know,
took a flashlight?
Exactly. You know, that's what I'm asking. Okay. Because I can tell you right now that if one of my kids were to get a flashlight, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. Because I know where I have a couple flashlights, but I also know that the garage there's some flashlights that my husband could probably tell you, or my older kids could tell you where they were. He's got flashlights in the shop. You know, probably even some in the vehicle somewhere. You know, I'm sure my son probably has one in his truck. My husband has one in his. I mean, there's. I couldn't tell you if somebody went out of the house with a flashlight.
Right. Yeah, dude,
I don't.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's autistic. I guarantee you he has sensory issues. He's not stepping out of that house without shoes on. He's just not doing it.
Yeah, that would be, unless he didn't ever like to wear shoes, which pictures I've seen, he has shoes on. So, you know what I mean? If his sensory issue was the point he didn't want to wear shoes, then I could kind of get that more, but he had shoes on.
Yeah.
So, the terrain is horrible there. Yeah, Amanda. See, teenage boys, they got their Crocs, their flip-flops, their slides. I'm telling you, man, I don't keep track of I have to ask sometimes, hey, you know, I'll identify some of them, like my two oldest ones. They only are like one shoe size apart. So they have big feet, right? And I'm like, whose are these? I'm like, are these his? And my husband will say, yeah, that's one's, you know. And I try to remember whose shoes are whose, but there's sometimes I'm like, hey, who's these are so and so's, right? You know, like I try to keep track of whose shoes are whose, but I, I mean, honestly, I don't keep track of flashlights or anything else in the house. Like if you were to come and say, is there anything missing? Well, I don't know. My TV's still there. As long as all my kids are here in the house, I, you know, it would have to be something really big for me to realize right then and there that something was missing. And if my child was missing, I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? This is just my thought. I'm going to tell you right now that there's no way in hell, even if I only owned one flashlight, there's no way in hell that I could tell you that it was there or not.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Out of all the things that you could think of, oh, well, you know, if he did leave, what did he take with him? You know, I mean, that was the one thing.
Exactly. Like, how do you do that? I couldn't do it. That's just me. You know, I think I would be too beside myself to, what do you mean a flashlight? Hold on, let me see. You know, just no way. You know, shoes, hold on. And I'd be having to ask my other kids. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be saying, is you know, is there any of their shoes missing?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look. Where's this pair? Where's that pair? You know, and make sure it's accounted for. Because I'd hate to say that he was in a different pair of shoes than what he actually had on, because then they're looking for some kid with black Nike high tops, and he's actually in his white, you know, Reeboks or Vans or something. You know, well, you know, oh yeah, do you? But
Exactly.
I
They do not.
wouldn't. I would not
But I
have.
really do believe that he made her go with him.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have left. I would have been praying that they walked back in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I see, I'm telling you, basketball shoes, football shoes. I'm telling you, they do have more shoes than you know you like to even think about. You know, then there's track shoes when they run cross country and track, and then they have shoes for powerlifting. There's a
Dress
lot
shoes,
there. Yeah.
cowboy boots,
Rain boots.
work boots.
These are things that we have to have. We have them here in our house because it's a necessity. When it rains, the kids know you put your rain boots on, go on out, do what we got to do outside, right? Because it gets muddy. Cowboy, but like you said, we all have different attire. But she was so sure. That's the thing that really, it really tripped me out when she said that and the way she said it. She was so confident that he walked out with no shoes. Really, I don't know. I just wouldn't say my kid walked out without any shoes unless I saw them go out without any shoes on and knew that they didn't run out the garage and grab some shoes off the shelf, because we have shelves out there where they put their, you know, we have their work boots and the rain boots and stuff like that usually stay out there. And sometimes when they have their, you know, Crocs on, if they've gotten them dirty, they'll leave them out there and just put them on the shelf and come back and clean them up. Right. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you if they maybe even grabbed somebody else's shoes and took on, hey, I'm just sliding these on and running out here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. She just seemed a little too sure. Yeah, wrestling shoes, yes, they're all different. Whatever sport it is that they're playing. I don't know. That case, I really wish they would find these missing kids.
Yeah. Listen, I
You
gotta
know.
go pee pee, so I'm gonna
Okay.
drop down.
Okay.
All right. Love
Yeah,
you guys.
we can. It's 11:30. Yeah, it's 11:30 here, so we probably. Jenna, I have to kick her because let me remove.
She's
I
still
know.
on there.
She said I woke up and I was still on panel. I said I shut the live down. She goes, you didn't kick me first. I said I am so sorry.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah. Oh, who had a vigil? Hold on. Who had a vigil? Oh, are you talking about the Summer Wells? Are you, who didn't have a vigil already for him, did they? I hope not. Not for Sebastian. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do a vigil for any of them like if they were missing. You have to tell me something else, you know? I agree with you on that one. All right, guys, we can go see. Love you too. Um, go see who else is out there. Maybe we can catch some more good crime talk. We do listen to the crime stuff, guys. You can tell Charlie Girl we like to kick things around. You know, we think about things and think, what if, you know? Um, but it is, you know, it would be nice if we lived in a world where these things didn't happen. It would be awesome, but unfortunately, we don't. So go cruise the YouTube street, see what other info is out there. Maybe we'll get some kind of information or something. But oh no, oh my God, did they really? Oh, Nikita, that's not. I don't think that's good. All right, you guys have a great night. We'll catch you later. And yeah, I'm off this week, so we'll probably maybe go live a little bit more. Yep, good solar eclipse. I might try and go live tomorrow. Depends, because my kids will be here because they're off of school, and it depends on what they're, you know, see what we're doing. But you guys have a good solar eclipse. Y'all make sure you don't look at it. You'll damage your eyes. Don't hold your phones up to it because it'll ruin your phone lens, apparently your camera lens. Just like your retinas, it'll destroy them too. So y'all just be careful out there and enjoy it. Stay safe. If you're going to see it, be careful of the crowds, okay? Because apparently it's a madhouse already. But you guys enjoy, and you have a good one, okay? Love you guys, and we'll see you later.